He made a small mistake that destroyed his whole life. That day he stayed out drinking with friends until 2 in the morning. His child could not sleep because of the noise. His wife could not take it anymore and made them leave. After sending his friends away, he went back out alone to town to buy alcohol. He also bought diapers for the baby. The round trip took about 20 minutes. When he left, everything at home was normal. When he came back, the house was on fire. The fire was too big to get close. His wife was rescued by firefighters. He stood there frozen like a stranger. He could not accept what he was seeing until morning. His wife was taken to the ambulance. All 3 children died in the fire. Police started an investigation. He was taken in for questioning. Police believed it was an accident. They thought he forgot to close the fireplace safety panel. After the investigation, they prepared to release him. He could not understand what was happening. He started having dark thoughts. He grabbed a police gun and tried to end his life. The gun did not fire. He survived but completely broke down. Years later, life slowly became quiet again. He cut off almost all social contact. He kept working repair jobs to survive. But the loss of his children never left him. He became silent and cold. He became impatient with every complaint from customers. He kept distance from anyone who tried to get close. He avoided conversations and shut people out. His life had no direction and no change. He locked himself away emotionally. He lived on autopilot every day, until one phone call changed everything. He rushed to the hospital and learned his brother had died. He saw his brother's body in the morgue. His brother was his only family left. After handling the funeral, he tried to contact his nephew. His nephew was playing basketball at school. Everyone there knew about his past accident. The truth had already been twisted by rumors. He was asked if the child should see his father one last time. The boy only looked from a distance and left. Then he went back to his normal life. He slowly realized he now had new responsibility. He began sorting through the inheritance. The lawyer told him his brother had already left a will. He was named the guardian of the boy. He refused immediately. He said he could not take care of any child. The lawyer said there was no other plan. The boy's mother had already disappeared. He had no choice but to take responsibility temporarily. He brought the boy to handle paperwork. He also had to deal with an old fishing boat. It was something left by the family. The boy wanted to keep the boat. He said it held his father's memory, but he wanted to sell it. He said repair costs and risk were too high. This was their first real conflict. His emotions exploded on the street. The boy felt he was a stranger, someone he could not rely on. They went to the harbor. They met his brother's old friend. The friend offered to help repair the boat, but he still insisted on selling it. He thought keeping it would only bring trouble. He planned to move the boy to Boston, start a completely new life. The boy did not want to leave. He said his school friends and life were here. He did not listen. He started handling funeral arrangements. He chose a coffin for his brother. He even delayed the burial, because winter ground could not be dug. The boy could not understand this decision. He showed clear frustration for the first time. He gave no explanation. He just wanted everything finished quickly. A few days later, the boy returned to normal routine. He went back to school and basketball. He even invited friends home. The house became noisy again. He could not adapt to this environment. He stayed upstairs most of the time, avoiding all interaction, but he still remained the guardian. One time the boy asked if his girlfriend could stay over. He also asked him to answer calls from parents. He hesitated but agreed. Deep inside he still rejected it. The next day he continued handling legal matters. Insurance and expenses were discussed. The lawyer mentioned support funds and relocation assistance, but he only wanted to finish everything fast. He went back to the fishing boat again, ready to sell it officially. The boy strongly opposed it. He said it was all he had left from his father. They argued again. Tension kept rising. Then his brother's friend arrived. He offered to repair the boat. He lost control again emotionally. He felt everyone was interfering in his decisions. But the boy finally stood up to him. He said he was always trying to escape everything. House, boat and people. He said nothing. He just walked away in silence. That night he stayed alone in the basement. The space was almost empty. It felt like the beginning again. No direction and no purpose. Only repetitive daily work. One night the boy stopped in front of the fridge. He saw frozen food inside. He suddenly broke down emotionally. He locked himself in his room, refusing to talk. He tried to calm him outside the door, but the boy could not explain why. He slowly realized it was connected to the past. For the first time he felt powerless. He stayed silent for a long time. He still could not understand the boy's reaction. He knew it was tied to the accident, but he did not know how to fix it. So he let things continue. The next day he tried to return to routine. He took the boy to meet the lawyer again. The guardian process was still ongoing. They also needed to decide living arrangements soon. The boy still refused to leave the town. He started reconsidering the move to Boston. He thought a new place would reduce problems, but the boy insisted on staying. He said this was his whole life. School friends and team were here. They argued again. Tension grew stronger. Neither of them gave in. They separated again. He went alone to the boat. He checked the condition again. The engine was very old. He became more certain about selling it. He saw it only as a burden. The boy arrived at the harbor later. He insisted on keeping the boat. He said it was his father's memory. It could not be sold. He refused again. A repair worker checked the boat. He said basic repairs were possible. It could extend its life. He still hesitated after hearing it, but did not change his decision. The boy started helping with repairs. He learned how to operate things. He tried to understand the structure. He watched from the side. He did not stop or help. After a few days the boat started running again. The engine was temporarily fixed. Performance improved slightly. The boy felt excited. He remained calm. At night he handled paperwork alone. The lawyer confirmed custody details again. All legal steps were moving forward. He signed without objection. Then he received news from his ex-wife. She learned about his brother's death. She asked to attend the funeral. He agreed to meet her. But his emotions became complicated. She arrived in town with her current husband. The meeting was quiet. Everyone kept distance. There was little conversation. She mentioned the past. He could not continue the talk. He only gave short replies. He ended the conversation quickly and walked away. The funeral began. Relatives and friends arrived. The crowd slowly grew. He stood in the corner without participation. The atmosphere was heavy but calm. His ex-wife stayed briefly, then left with her husband. She did not stay long. He watched them leave. He said nothing. The boy remained calm after the funeral. He showed no strong reaction. He returned to normal life. He invited friends again. The house became noisy again. He could not adjust. He stayed upstairs most of the time, still responsible for guardianship. One day the boy asked again for a sleepover, and asked him to handle parent calls. He did not refuse, but his attitude was cold. He simply agreed. The night became quiet. He sat alone in the living room. The boy and friends were downstairs. He felt out of place. The next day the lawyer continued arrangements. Funds and relocation support were discussed. He began packing his belongings, preparing to deal with everything left behind. The boy still refused to leave. He said he was used to this place. He did not respond. He continued packing. The boat was discussed again. The boy became emotional. He also lost patience. They argued again. No solution was reached. A passing friend tried to calm them. He expressed frustration. Tension rose again. He later decided to pause the sale. He agreed to continue repairing the boat, but still planned to leave later. The boy did not argue further. Weeks later the boat repair was completed. The engine was fully replaced. Performance improved significantly. The boy took it out alone for the first time. He completed a short trip successfully. He watched from the shore. He gave no comment. He just stood quietly. The boy slowly returned to normal life. School activities continued. Friends came back. The house felt calmer. He began final relocation planning. He weighed Boston and the town. Still undecided. One day he met his ex-wife again. They briefly met on the street. The atmosphere was calm. She shared updates about her life. He responded briefly. After a short talk they separated again. She asked to talk more. He refused. They parted ways. At night he returned to his room. He sorted old photographs. Photos showed past family life. He did not stay long. The boy entered the room later. He saw the photos. He said nothing. He just stood there. He proposed a new plan. He decided to leave the town in July. The boy could stay and be cared for by another family. The boy did not respond immediately. He listened quietly. His emotions were calm. He started contacting foster arrangements. His friend George helped. He provided temporary housing options to ensure a smooth transition. The boy finally accepted the plan, but showed no strong emotion. He continued daily life. He started searching for a new home. He considered renting in Boston. He wanted an extra room for possible future arrangements. He did not explain clearly, but he saved space for the boy. Life slowly began to change. The moving date approached. He completed all procedures. The boat was placed under management. Town matters were finished. Winter turned to spring. The town became peaceful again. His life also reached its end point there.